Hello everyone and welcome to another Balance Movement video. Today we're just going to do a nice stretch for the middle of the spine. So it's called the thoracic spine, which roughly goes from the bottom of your neck to just underneath your rib cage at the front and the back. Now if you haven't done a warm-up already, you can go back to the video that was released the first time last Monday and you can just include this into the warm-up, or you can do it after the warm-up. But this one is a nice stretch that you can do anytime. So we're just going to jump right into it. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to try and stand. Now if you have difficulty standing, I'll also show you a way of doing the stretch sitting down, but you shouldn't need any equipment for this exercise at all. So really with the thoracic spine, which again is the middle of the spine, from about here to here, and the same on the back, a lot of the times it gets very frozen and stuck because before everything closed down we were probably in an office, and even now that everything is kind of closed down and we're inside a lot, we probably spend a lot of time sitting down in a chair slouched over, and the back gets very conditioned to be in that position, which I'm exaggerating now, but this is roughly kind of what we're looking at. So there's nothing wrong with this position, but most people can't get out of this position. So if you ask them to stand up nice and straight with a straight posture, they can't do it. And that's not very good for the lungs because we're compressing the lungs down. It's harder to breathe. Okay, it's not good for your mood. It's just not a good position to be stuck in. So this stretch is very, very good for getting movement back into the part of the spine that gets very frozen in one position. So everybody's going to have a different level of ability with this exercise. If you don't get a lot of movement in it, don't worry. Just follow along. The more you do it, the more movement will get back into the spine. So what we're going to do is, we're going to stand nice and straight, and we're going to imagine we're in the military and that our chest is going puffing up towards the ceiling, like you're giving a salute to someone, or you're proud, or you're trying to show off. Chest is puffing forward like that and up towards the ceiling. Now we're going to do the opposite to that stretch, and we're going to give ourselves a hunchback. So you're imagining the chest is hollowing in, and it's this part of the back that's going up towards the ceiling and towards the back wall, like that. So gradually you're just going to go backward and forward between puffing the chest up. You can pull the shoulders back if it helps, and then doing the opposite and letting the spine curl over and giving yourself a hunch. So just do a couple of repetitions going backward and forward between those two positions like that. Now as you can see, most of that movement is in the middle of my back. If I can, I try to keep my head and my neck in position, and I try to keep the lower back in position, and I just try to move the middle of the back. But if you're getting a lot of movement from the whole spine at the start, don't worry, because any movement for the spine is probably good movement. And from the front, just looks like this. Now to finish that off, what you can do is, you can interlock your fingers, and then you can push them towards the wall in front of you like this, and then you can let your back hunch over. So we're going from that hunched position, the back is going towards the back wall, the hands are locking and they're going towards the front wall. So you're trying to get as much space in between your hand and your chest as possible, and you get a really nice stretch for the back, especially in between the shoulder blades, the neck. And then you're going to come back, and then you're going to do the reverse. So you're going to lock your fingers behind you, and then you're going to push your hands towards the back wall, and then you're going to lift your chest forward and up towards the ceiling, and you're trying to get as much space in between your hands and your back as possible. And then if you want an even bigger stretch, you can start lifting your arms up towards the ceiling without letting your chest drop. So keep your chest going up, and then try to lift your arms. And you'll get a nice stretch in the shoulder. And relax. So this stretch can also be done sitting down. So if you have difficulty standing, don't worry. But for this stretch here, you're going to make sure that we're away from the back of the chair. So the closer you are to the back of the chair, the harder it's going to be. So if you go right to the edge of the chair, and you're going to do the same thing. You're just thinking that you're in the military and you're pushing your chest up like you're giving a salute. And then you're going to do the opposite. You're going to give yourself a hunchback. And you're going to imagine you're pushing the middle of your shoulder blades towards the chair. And if you want to use your arms to help, you can just reach your arms forward and stretch forward like that, like we were doing when we were standing. And it's a bit more difficult to do if there's a back to the chair. But if you want, you can go to the edge of the chair and try to stretch and push up like that. So that's it for today. It's a nice quick stretch that you can do anytime, anywhere, and it's really, really good for just giving a bit more space for the lungs to breathe and getting the blood flowing throughout the spine. So thanks for watching.